Let's talk about Spider-Man Brand New Day because it seems like everybody has a script that tells them what to think about Spider-Man Brand New Day. I'm gonna give you my thoughts coming out of the theater. I just watched it, and honestly, I'm here to tell you this is not the best Spider-Man movie of all time. I've been hearing a lot of people say that. I've been hearing it's the best Spider-Man movie since Spider-Man 2. I also disagree with that. This movie is mid Spider-Man movies. In terms of Spider-Man movies, it's mid. And I will get into spoilers, okay? So if you haven't seen Spider-Man Brand New Day, do not click on this video, okay? This is your spoiler warning. I'm gonna put a title right here so you know. Spoilers, spoilers, spoilers. The decision to make Jean Grey the villain of a new Spider-Man trilogy is mind-boggling to me. I mean, how do you even come up with that concept? I think that is the main issue I have with this film. I don't think Jean Grey should have been a villain in a Spider-Man movie. Yo, call me crazy, bro. But the first thing I think about when I think of Spider-Man villains, Venom, Carnage, Mysterio, Electro, Lizard, freaking Green Goblin. Bro, I do not think Jean Grey, bro, okay? Yo, come at me if you want, but that's my opinion. And people are saying that this Spider-Man film fits all the puzzle pieces that you need to make a great Spider-Man movie. Where's a good villain? A good villain is necessary for a Spider-Man movie. If you don't have a good, compelling villain for Peter to go on an arc to beat, and then essentially what they did with this film is make Jean Grey Martin Lee. But my question is, why not just make Martin Lee in the movie, bro? Like, I get it. You probably just don't want to go piggyback off of, the Spider-Man PS4 game because that came out recently, and, you want to diverge yourself, make yourself a different project, and instead of just copying what the game did. But the blueprint is right there, bro. Like, just make a Martin Lee be the villain in Spider-Man Brand New Day. And I'm getting riled up because I honestly had very low expectations coming into this movie. I did not think it was going to be one of the best Spider-Man movies. I was very skeptical that they were showing a lot of the stuff from the movie in the promotional stuff, because usually what happens is people get spoiled, and I made sure that I did not watch a lot of the promotional stuff because I knew what Sony does is they basically just put the movie out there in a miniature version, and then once you go in, there's really not any surprises. But somehow, even with my low expectations, bro, I still came out of the movie thinking, yeah, that was not a very good movie. I'll be honest. I don't see where people are coming from when they say this is some of the best CGI in a Spider-Man movie. I thought the CGI was mid at best. I thought the action was pretty good. I really liked the Spider-Man fight scene with Hulk where he's chasing him down the hallway. I like that fight scene. I also like when Spider-Man saved a group of people from the DODC when he swung his web that way. That was a very good scene. There was a couple fight scenes with the hand where they like switched the camera and he's like fighting upside down. I really liked that. But it came in snippets. It wasn't like a full, long fight scene where, for example, like TASM 2. I know I'm mentioning TASM 2 a lot, but people hate on TASM 2 for the same reasons that they love Brand New Day. Let's just be honest. But yes, some of the fight scenes were very good. I really enjoyed, snippets of them. I thought at some points that the CGI was very spotty, and you could definitely tell at some points they were using the cable works, which sometimes looked a little bit off to me. It looked like Spider-Man was just like floating in midair, and he was definitely looked like he was suspended from a cable. But my main complaint is not about the action. I think Destin Daniel Cretton did a great job at, getting creative with Spider-Man, which I love. I like when Spider-Man's moving silky. I like when he feels like a spider, and I think that's something that they did great with this movie. I also did like the Peter and MJ stuff. I know a lot of people are getting like annoyed that it's getting repetitive, but I think they did a great job at, making sure that Peter goes and sees MJ, but they're not necessarily, getting back together, it seems like, anytime soon. At least maybe in the next movie they do. But this time, Peter doesn't end up with MJ at the end of this movie, so I think that was pretty cool. I think the Ned scenes were very wholesome. I love Ned. I think he's very good. But yeah, some of the side characters, like Yelena being in the movie, I thought that was like funny, but at the same time, like, I don't know if I'm just being like a very nitpicky person. I usually don't tend to be like that, but could that not have been anywhere else? Like, could that scene not have taken place in the Avengers Tower? I think that would have just been like a lot cooler. Like, I understand, it was funny. I like when Spider-Man dips his toes up, and yeah, that was pretty fun. But I don't know, it just felt kind of out of place, and it felt like it was like forcing me to try to laugh. I don't know, it just felt very weird and odd. I don't know if I'm the only one that get that. But yes, I still hold the opinion that there is no Spider-Man movie that is bad. I think every movie that has Spider-Man in it honestly just gets bumped to a level because Spider-Man is just that good of a character. He's my favorite superhero ever. He's my favorite fictional character ever. However, I did come out of this movie feeling a bit disappointed, I'll be honest. That's the only word I can think of right now. And it wasn't because I got my expectations up. I had a feeling that this was going to be the outcome. The main problem I have with this movie is damage control felt very predictable. Jean Grey, we all kind of knew that she was going to be Jean Grey. The reveal was also very cringe. I didn't feel nothing for the reveal. Her genuinely being a bad person, like getting people killed, was really bad, I'll be honest. And her doing the whole scene with MJ, I thought that was a very good twist because it got me a little bit, but I clocked it a little bit. But yeah, in the end, I think maybe I need to rewatch it again. But I can't be the only person that feels like this, because it just feels like the internet is just trying to force me to love this movie, and I can't love it, okay? I'm just gonna be honest. I cannot put it above my favorite Spider-Man movies. I can't put it above Into, I can't put it above Spider-Man 2, I can't put it above TASM 2. I can't put it above any of these movies, but, you know, it's a Spider-Man movie, so it's still going to be high up on my best movies of all times list. So I don't know if I touched upon this, but I do love Spider-Man and Punisher's dynamic. They are very funny. I thought every time Punisher was on the screen, it was like a great, you know, dynamic between him and Spidey. They complemented each other very well. You know, Frank is a very lonely character. Peters and Spider-Man are very lonely people. So, you know, them being together is like big bro, little bro type of energy, which I loved. And yeah, the Hulk didn't really service the movie, I'll be honest. He came out, you know, helped Peter, but he kind of already just confirmed what Peter thought he already knew about mutations. And then Peter ended up making a device. So I guess he kind of serviced in that point. But honestly, Hulk was just there to get a big battle between Spider-Man and Hulk, which I'm not complaining about, bro. Like I said, the fight scene with Spider-Man being chased by Hulk down that hallway was probably the best sequence in the entire movie, which I loved. But yeah, I think there is a lot of pieces of this movie that just didn't really fall into place for me. And if I were to give it a rating out of 10, I'd probably say 7 out of 10. So yeah, that's my opinion on Spider-Man Brand New Day. Probably no one cares, but I feel like I'm the only one with these opinions on the internet, bro. I feel like everybody's glazing this movie, and I'm here to tell you, in my opinion, it is not the best Spider-Man movie ever. That's all I have to say.